The gentleman from Virginia is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Recognized for as much time as you may consume.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to thank my colleague from Virginia, Mr. Nye, for introducing this legislation to encourage financial and lending institutions to work with homeowners affected by toxic drywall. I would also like to thank the Chairman and Ranking Member of the Financial Services Committee for bringing this resolution to the floor. And as of Friday, November 20th, 2009, the Consumer Product Safety Commission had received nearly 2,100 complaints from homeowners in 32 states and the District of Columbia. The Commonwealth of Virginia, and particularly the Hampton Roads region, has been hit hard, and many homeowners are facing significant health problems and financial ruin because of the presence of toxic drywall in their homes. The complaints to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, which began sometime in 2006, include a rotten egg smell within the home, health concerns such as irritated and itchy eyes and skin, difficulty in breathing, persistent cough, runny noses, recurrent headaches, sinus infections, nosebleeds, and asthma attacks, and blackened and corroded metal components in electrical systems and air conditioning units. And in October, I toured the homes of several constituents affected by the toxic drywall in the Hollymead subdivision in Newport News and saw firsthand how toxic drywall has put the health and financial well-being of numerous families at risk. And I met with these folks again last week to be updated on their current predicament. These homeowners, many of whom served or are serving our country in the armed forces, cannot afford to carry a mortgage on a home that is uninhabitable and make arrangements to pay rent or pay a mortgage on a second home to keep their family safe. Many of these families are juggling the burdens of having a deployed spouse or a spouse preparing for deployment and an additional financial burden such as a move out of an impacted home, foreclosure, or loss of insurance coverage. All of these would be devastating to these families. This resolution encourages banks to allow for a temporary forbearance without penalty on payments on their home mortgages. This would give homeowners the time they need to work out a more permanent solution. My office is currently working with 7 homeowners who are seeking assistance from their lenders. And again, I would like to thank my colleague from Virginia, Mr. Nye, for introducing this legislation, and I urge my colleagues to support it strongly. And, Madam Chairman, I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Virginia reserves the balance of his time. The gentleman from Virginia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I yield myself the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Virginia yields the balance of his, takes the balance of his time. So recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to echo the comments from Mr. Nye from Virginia. And having visited a number of these homes, it is very apparent the health effects from this toxic drywall. The sulfur there is pungent. Just in the time that I spent there, I experienced some of the same symptoms, runny nose, itchy eyes, irritation in the lungs, a cough, and that was just in a very short period of time of about 2 hours. I can only imagine what those families have to endure under those conditions and living in those homes, so our hearts and minds and concerns go out to them. You know, last week the Consumer Product Safety Commission released the results of their most recent study of 51 homes, and there was a lot of effort to try to get the Consumer Product Safety Commission to do a study on this toxic drywall. And their study did not find anything now that is conclusive about the health effects of drywall, but the Consumer Product Safety Commission did commit to continue the study because we all believe that just looking at 51 homes doesn't look at the full scope of this problem. This problem is in over 2,100 instances, and we know there are more, and across 32 states. So they've committed to work continually to identify which compounds could be causing these health problems. And their study found a strong association between the problem drywall, the hydrogen sulfide level in homes with that drywall, and corrosion in these homes. In these 2 preliminary studies of corrosion of metal components taken from homes containing the problem drywall found copper sulfide corrosion in the initial samples tested, which supports the finding of an association between hydrogen sulfide and the corrosion. Ongoing laboratory tests continue to investigate the nexus between safety in the short-term and long-term effects of such corrosion, not only on the homes, but it should also be looking at the effects on individuals that inhabit those homes. And based on these studies completed to date, the Interagency Task Force can begin a new phase by developing a protocol to identify homes with corrosive drywall and a process to address the corrosive drywall and its effects. I urge the task force to work expeditiously to complete the study phase and to release its protocols for identifying impacted homes and for remediation. This resolution will give homeowners the time they need to make decisions based on the Consumer Product Safety Commission studies and protocols for a more permanent solution to their situation. And Madam Chairman, with that, I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman from Virginia yields back the balance of